Thanks very much for joining us for Risk-Based Culture. How could we create one? You can reach me at jim@simplifyiso.com or over here at our website with this handy contact button. ISO 31000 helps you take the guesswork out of putting together a structured approach to risk management. You'll notice here in this diagram that the process involves deciding on communicating the consultation, connecting with people, decide on the scope, the context, do a risk assessment, do some analysis, evaluation, figure out a risk treatment, monitor it, review it, record it, report it, and then you'll have the beginnings of the development of a risk culture in your organization. One thing that's critical to do is to make risk-based thinking part of how you do business. Don't think of it as an exercise, a separate exercise, something you do over here or something you do down there. Make it part of the fabric of your organization. Make sure that you understand the purpose of doing risk-based thinking and convey that to your folks. Make sure leadership demonstrates commitment to the concept of doing business from a risk-based perspective. The method has to fit your strategy. It has to help you reach your objectives. It has to be matched to how your organization works, to the operation. People need to understand the value of risk-based thinking, because if people in your organization don't think something is worth doing, they just simply will not do it. And just like rust, risk never sleeps. We know that only too well. It's important to understand too that you have to balance risk against the objectives that you're trying to reach in your organization. You have to consult with people in the organization and communicate with them. And remember, communication is not just a one-way message to people. The word communication is defined as sending a message and having the sender ensure that the message was received in the way it was intended. So when the organization is thinking about risk, when leaders are talking about risk, they have to be sure that people are understanding risk the same way they are intending it. It's important, of course, to engage all stakeholders and make everyone aware. Make sure that it's effective. You have to measure the effectiveness of your risk management activities the same way that you'd measure the effectiveness of delivery or any one of your processes in service delivery. You have to assess how well organizations' internal customers are receiving the information about risk and using it in their day-to-day life. If we want to create a risk-based culture, it can't come just from a few posters and a few meetings and a couple of town hall gatherings. Risk needs to become a way of life. And in your internal audits, you can always check to make sure that people understand that there are risks around where they are and that they can be managed. We're not blowing in the wind, unaffected by our own actions. Thanks very much for having a look. You'll notice down below the video that there's a link to a free webinar on April 27th, 2020. When you click on the link, you'll get signed up. You can join us on the 27th. And if you miss this one, just go over here to the Simplify ISO website. You'll see this handy webinars button, and there's always one there to sign up for. Thanks very much for having a look. And I hope you can join us for Pumping Up Resilience. Bye for now.